Right now, I am pleased to have in the studio Joshua Klipp.
Thank you.
Joshua, in your own words, what are you?
Well, in my own words, I'm just a kind of a pop, urban, hip hop artist, a musician, and
Who happens to be
transgender. That's right.
transgendered. Now,
Yeah.
let's first of all, for some people, because not everybody's as hip as I am, the black socks notwithstanding. How do you
look
define-
great, Lionel. You look
I
great.
sure do. I know. I pair myself on. How would you define what is transgender?
Well, I guess in a nutshell, it's just somebody who was.
Is it a pun?
What?
In a nutshell? Wait a minute. Hold it.
But
It's a loose show. Oh, I got one of those. There we go.
Oh,
There we go. I always carry it with me.
right, great.
Let's leave the testicular humor out of this, young man, right?
Oh.
But what is a transgender, seriously?
Well, it's just somebody that was born into a body with a gender assigned to it that doesn't really fit how they identify.
Just so that people understand, that's what you feel. There's nothing special about this.
Yeah, no, I mean, since my dad tells a story that when I was 3 years old, I just looked up at him and said, I want to be a boy. And, what does a 3-year-old know? You just know what you know. So that's always kind of just been my truth.
There's something to that amazes me. All you have to do is see a little boy with a toy. Oh, they love trucks. And nobody tells them, all right, now listen, you like trucks and you like sports, and when you give little girls a doll, they'll nurture it. They don't even know. Talk about your music and how you fit in the hip hop world. I sound like Lawrence Welk in the hip hop world.
The hip hop world. Well, I'm from the Bay Area, and in the Bay Area, kind of anything goes. It's a great place to be. It's a great place to kind of start busting out and challenging people's ideas. But I would say that I'm definitely a bit of a pioneer. There aren't many people out there like me who are. There are other trans people who are musicians. I would say most of them do sort of kind of fringe music, and I think probably because we sort of consider ourselves as a community fringe people, but that type of music isn't really what I'm into. I go for kind of more of a mainstream hip hop R&B sound, and it's just
when people hear you, I mean, I would think your music speaks for yourself. Now we have one piece that you have here, which is what do you call it?
Well, there's a track on the album. The album Won't Stop Now, which, by the way, is available on iTunes and CD Baby. And the track it's called Little Girl. And it marks the first time in music history that a trans man has recorded a song that has both his pre- and post-transition vocals.
Wow.
Yeah, so that means that it was a song that I'd recorded before I started transitioning, and then after transition, I revisited it. And
I want to hear it, but what is that like when you hear it? Because it's you. It's just a voice. It's like it's just a different sound.
it was actually a really quite intense experience. Before making the decision to transition, there was really no medical information about what was going to happen to my voice. I was singing professionally. I did jazz, so I didn't have any information about whether I was actually going to be able to sing again. So.
It's the opposite, as we were saying. It's the opposite of being a castrato.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
right. Yeah. Sure.
We're adding, I guess, so to speak.
Right. So having gone through the experience of literally being willing to let go of my sort of spiritual being, my voice, to do what I knew I needed to do for myself, to be able to revisit that and sing alongside that.
See, I've got to hear that. That to me is so. It's because it must be so interesting for you, Joshua. It's you.
Right.
It's the same you, but it's reminding you of the you that I was, but you're still there.
It was really.
It's got to be amazing. I've got to hear this. What's the name of this clip?
The song is called "Little Girl." Change in your eyes.